CC, is Aaron Rodgers carrying the Green Bay Packers by himself at this point?
Not only is he carrying the Packers organization,
Green Bay as a whole,
Cheesehead
Wisconsin,
Nation, but it's beyond this. I played in an era where I think the greatest throwers that's ever thrown the football, Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, Joe Montana, Warren Moon, John Elway. I mean, there's a collection. Jim Kelly is a collection of guys. I mean, all of them being Hall of Famers. Threw the football great. I've never seen anyone throw the football like Aaron Rodgers.
Why?
The flight of the football. He can throw the ball further in the air with the ball not getting off the ground. Even the touchdown throw, that ball probably did not get higher than 7.5 feet off the ground.
What does that mean? Isn't that arm strength?
No, it's arm strength, but it's also he can throw it with such a tight spiral that the defenders, they don't have enough time to react.
This was perfect coverage.
I mean, the spiral is also so tight that the ball is easier to catch because the front of it is spinning so tight. And his release is so quick. The knack for it, being able to throw it wherever the defenders aren't. We talk about all the time, he throws the people open. I mean, Davante Adams is not open here. But also the confidence and the arrogance. I just threw that. The receiver comes back to him like we always do. Man, go right back to it. Aaron Rodgers gave him the look. Didn't tell him he was, but he gave him the look. Aaron Rodgers is a special football player. And we've seen a lot of guys who can throw the football, but to be able to put it together with a winning formula. I mean, all over the field, to all of his receivers. People don't realize. Jordy Nelson was on the sideline, his best receiver. And Davante Adams had been knocked out in the Chicago game. So not only Aaron Rodgers, but what Davante Adams did, being able to come back after being concussed. He went to Dallas being questionable if he was going to play. And besides Aaron Rodgers being the most valuable Packer, amazing football. It's amazing to see. I will never get tired of watching Aaron Rodgers throw the football because it's an amazing thing to see. And we are witnessing something that's really, really special.
We're now in a similar place to me in our two most popular sports when we talk about like the best to ever do it and how, listen, Tom Brady, the reason I say it's, let me back up a little bit. The reason I say it's similar in two sports is, forget if you disagree with me about LeBron being the greatest basketball player ever. Just take it for a moment. Jordan is obviously the most accomplished basketball player ever. Some people, myself included, make the case LeBron is better at basketball than Jordan was. But those are two separate things. Tom Brady is obviously the most accomplished quarterback ever. Yes. Second on the list, probably Joe Montana. Third on that, Aaron Rodgers is not near the top of the most accomplished quarterback ever.
Yes.
It's a long list of guys you get to before you get to Aaron Rodgers. But if you are asking who is better at playing the position, whose best is better than everyone else's best, who is, as you would put it, the best thrower of the football, the guy who somehow can make all the huge plays while taking care of the football. His touchdown-interception ratio seems make-believe.
Yeah, off the charts.
Not only is he best in league history, he's best by a mile. He throws more than 4 touchdowns for every 1 interception. No one else, there's only, I think, 4 other guys that are better than 2.5 to 1. He's over 4 to 1. His career quarterback rating is the best in league history by a mile. And he has just consistently done it. CC, you mentioned 2 guys, Jordy Nelson and Davante Adams. Jordy, I think, would be a good player on any team.
Yes, he's a good player.
Davante is obviously an above-average NFL player. But he has taken a guy in Jordy that would be a good player most places. And Davante, who would be, I think, a 3rd receiver most places, maybe a 2nd receiver. Mm-hmm. And since the start of 2016, who leads the NFL in touchdown catches? Jordy with 20. Who's second? Davante Adams with 16. More than Mike Evans, more than Odell, more than Dez, more than Julio. Those 2 guys, just like he made a season where James Jones, literally wearing a hoodie. We talk about Hoodie Mello. He was Hoodie James Jones all season. He was on the waiver wire. He goes to Green Bay, leads them in touchdowns. It's what Aaron Rodgers can do for the entire team around him, I've never seen from a singular football player.
He not only makes average wide receivers better, he makes his average offense better. And here's the thing that I saw about Aaron Rodgers that I love the most. There was a shot towards the end of the game of Dak Prescott. He was sweaty. He was out of breath. He was hunched over a little bit. He was walking it off. He was like, you could tell that his heart was racing. And then you saw a shot of Aaron Rodgers, who was about to, the shot. He stands like this, not a speck of dirt on, not a speck of, he wasn't glistening. There was no sweat.
Didn't seem to be worried
about a thing. It could have been a minute 13. It could have been 13 seconds. It's almost as if it didn't matter how much time was left on the clock. He was just standing there waiting. There's a certain calm about him that instills a sense of confidence, both from people watching and I'm sure from his own teammates.
Yes.
I would have to imagine that if you're anyone on that offense, you're going, no matter what, until the end of the game, we've got a shot because of number 12.
And it's been proven. It's been proven all the time. They got video evidence. The guys have been on the field. Like, when you're playing with a guy like him, the score is one opponent. The team is one opponent. The clock is one opponent. But none of them are bigger than that guy. So as a team, you always feel like you have confidence. People forget 5 lead changes in the fourth quarter in this game. Well, people might forget Green Bay was down by 15. But there's no need to worry. And you're right. The body language and how a quarterback looks, it sends a message to the rest of the team. And let me tell you something. If Aaron Rodgers throws an interception at the end of the game, I'm not going to say that he doesn't care, but he's got the guts to say, I'm not going to settle for a field goal kicker that's missed 2 extra points. Yeah. I mean, he's been good for the Packers.
That's such a great point, Steve.
I'm going for the touchdown.
And not only that, explain what you were talking about before, that Devontae came back into the huddle and said, give me the ball again.
Yeah, on the first throw to the end zone, they threw a fade. It was incomplete. Aaron threw the ball a little bit inside. Devontae Adams came back to the huddle and told him, I got the guy beat. Now, he was going against a rookie, hoping to get man-to-man coverage again. And the DB he's in good shape.
He's in good position.
Like he's in
he did
good
everything
shape.
right.
Now, for Aaron, once the DB gets one ball thrown at him, he's not thinking they're going to come right back, because it's not a Odell Beckham. It's not Julio Jones. It's not Jordy Nelson. These are the top flight guys. A quarterback would normally come back to him. They wouldn't come back to a guy like Devontae. So I know the DB was fairly shocked, but there is no defense for the perfect pass. No defense. And that's what that pass was.
I'm so glad you brought up not settling for the field goal. This drive is less impressive if the Packers, or this touchdown pass, I should say, if the Packers are down 4. If you're down 4 and we score a touchdown or we lose.
Yes.
You have to go for it.
You have to go for it. I watch teams every weekend eschew going for the win to take overtime and take your chances. Like, I don't want to turn it over late. We're in field goal range. Crosby's missed 2 extra points, but he's a reliable kicker. He's been one of the league's most reliable kickers the last few years. All right, we'll take one shot that it's to the very back of the end zone, that if our guy doesn't catch it, it goes out of bounds, and we'll kick the field goal and take our chances. Nah, man. Not with that guy. And that was the coolest thing to me about watching the replays there is Rodgers, where he threw it the second time, is where it would have been a touchdown if he threw it the first time.
Yes.
Like, he realized it was, when I watched that play, I said to my buddies in the room, I said, a computer couldn't have placed it better. Like, if you just remove Aaron Rodgers, everyone runs the same route, the defenders run the same thing, and say, computer simulation, put this ball in the perfect place.
Between 8 and 9 feet and right above the head of the DB.
With the timing then.
That's the perfect timing.
He fitted into a window the size of a football.
There is no time to recover, too, because he throws it with such velocity. By the time the DB turned his head, Devontae, he had called it.
And, Jenna, that's the important part of the point Chris was making earlier about the height of the ball.
Yeah.
It's just, you see some guys that can throw these bombs, but they're like they're like me throwing. You know, I mean, better than me throwing. But the only way you're going to get to go far is by throwing it high in the air. The lower it is, the less time the defender's going to have. Like, because the defender, again, wasn't beat.
No. He was in great position.
It was good coverage. I mean, the guy's just...
He's in great position to get on the news.
We're going to talk so much more about this, and we'll get the Cowboys side of it. But kudos to you for bringing out the SAT word, eschew.
Eschew.
Eschew. I think I spelled it right. C-H-E-W. Look, I did it right there. Do you see I wrote it down?
I just
I try to give you props every time
Jen.
you
Appreciate that.
reach back into your SAT bag. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.